excited to talk about I Want Your Sex.
Yeah, man. I was at the premiere of the film. I've been to the last couple of premieres of your movies. I was at White Bird and the Blizzard as well 10 years ago.
Oh, cool.
Um, yeah, your movies have been really fan favorites of me and my friends, especially Nowhere, which is one that we absolutely love. Um,
Oh, thank
so
you.
it's been interesting to see kind of the evolution of you as a filmmaker over all these years. I think about,
It's
kind
been a long time.
of for me too, man. All right, cool. So yes, I thought it was interesting. Like you were saying, like the Elliot character, he seems like someone who terrified of expressing himself, which is an
Uh-huh.
interesting, I think, an interesting way to approach this kind of comedy nowadays because you don't see anybody talking about this issue in comedies in like
Uh-huh.
right now at all about Gen Z and men and just being terrified of
Uh-huh.
expressing themselves sexually.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I mean, I feel like Elliot is not as bad as some, I don't want to say bad, but as repressed as some Gen Z people in the sense that
Mhm.
he is, like Erica calls him like a sexual astronaut. Like he is kind of exploring, courtesy of Erica. Like Erica is really pushing his boundaries and pushing him into like new frontiers. Uh,
Yeah.
but beyond Erica, he has his girlfriend Minerva, who is, the wonderful Charlie XCX. And so he's in kind of this dead end relationship.
Mm.
So he's not like, an incel living in his mom's basement, like,
Right.
like some younger people are. So he is, but he's at that age of being um, just very confused and uncertain, and like he's very much doesn't know what his place in the world is going to be. He wants to be an artist, and I kind of based his character as Erica is very much a mouthpiece for me, and a lot of the things she says about sex, sexuality, and art are things that I've
Mm.
said. Um, Elliot was for me very much like I kind of base his character on myself when I was a young artist, when I was in my early 20s, and like figuring out being queer and who I was and what my identity was, and wanting to make films but not sure how it was going to happen. I just think that age of being um confused and not sure yourself and uncomfortable. And I mean, and
Mhm.
Cooper is such a fantastic actor that he really Cooper, he's so young. Like he was just turned 21 when we made the movie. I mean, he's a
It's
baby,
crazy.
but he's such a talented actor, and he's also has so much gravitas that he really embodied so much of that confusion, I think, and did such a fantastic job in sort of selling the Elliot character because some of his behavior is a little bit like, why is he doing what he's doing? I mean, I understand like why he says yes to Erica, even though
Yeah.
he's in a relationship, even why he doesn't break up with his girlfriend because she's um terrible, not nice to him. I understand his because when you're young, you make a lot of mistakes. You do a lot of things that are
Yeah.
kind of dumb or why did I do that? And
Yeah.
so- and Cooper's so relatable that I think that's one of his biggest strengths is you really are rooting for him like throughout the whole movie.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things I related to most was him agreeing to be with Erica while he had a girlfriend. I was like, I get it. Like I understand why he's doing it.
I mean,
In
I just
fact,
feel like Erica's almost like she's like in the script it talks about her being like a sex superhero. I mean, she's
yeah,
almost like an irresistible force. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like, it's like she just springs that on him in like the first scene of the movie, and he's like, I can't say no. I'm like literally like I'm hypnotized by
yeah.
you.
It's like wish fulfillment. I mean, it's like a
Yeah.
guy you wish of something like that would happen to you. Like people in the audience, I know people I was with were like, why does that happen to me? Like, I don't remember that happening to me, you know?
Yeah, it's like, well, it is what he says in the script. It's like literally, it's like a dream come true. It's like his
Yeah,
fantasies life. So
exactly. You can't turn that away. Olivia Wilde is so great in this. It's funny at Sundance she has her other movie, the Invite that came out.
right, yeah,
So
it's the year of Olivia Wilde.
it
So
really is. She's so wildly different in the both films. Did you always see her as Erica? Did you have anybody in mind in particular when you're writing that character?
it's so funny because we um didn't make any list. I never had her on a list or any, we didn't have a list. And so we were just trying to get the movie together. And my manager, without telling me, slipped the script to Olivia's agent. And so she calls me and she's like, "Oh, Olivia Wilde read it and really wants to meet." I was like, "Olivia Wilde? That's such a fucking great idea." Like I didn't even think about, I mean, I've been a fan of Olivia's since she was the bisexual kid on the OC, you know what I mean? And
Mm-hmm.
I just think that she's such a fantastic actor and also like old time movie star. Like she's like a 40s movie star, like Greta Garbo or Ingrid Bergman. Yeah, I mean, like she has that kind of huge presence and those crazy cheekbones. And yeah, I mean, like she just has this really commands the screen, you know? And so I always wanted to work with her. And so I had a meeting with her and she was like fantastic and so cool and really got the script, really got the character. And I just said to her, I was like, you know, whoever does this movie has to be so fearless and just really want to jump in and do it. Yeah, and not give a shit what anybody thinks. And
Yeah.
so yeah, that's totally what I want to do. And um so she got attached and then the movie got financed like 2 days later. And we were
I
off,
guess that helps, right?
off to the races. And so she, and she just really delivers in the movie in a way that it was just so exciting and thrilling for me to watch.
You've always been able, like, even from the beginning, been able to attract like really amazing casts. Like your ensembles for like every single movie are like top shelf. I mean, from the early days to now. What is it that you think attracts, bring, just grab people seem to gravitate to your movies, want to be part of them?
I mean, my movies, because they're these small indie movies, it's like there's definitely not like any money. Like nobody's ever doing one of my movies for the money. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's always um, sacrificing that for the chance to do something like that's like super artistic and super challenging and super different and unique. And I'm also one of those directors that I'm very much dependent on cast. You know, I mean, I'm very picky about cast. I have a vision of the movie in my head, and um, and sort of once I find the right cast, I'm one of those directors like directing is 99% casting. Like once you have the right people, it takes a long time to find those right people, but once you have them, it's like the movie kind of makes itself. You know what I mean? Like it's like I'm not a director that I'm all, okay, your motivation is this and that. It's like the actors bring their creativity, they bring their contribution to the character, the movie, all of it to the set. So it's once I find those right people, it's kind of, I mean, that's the hardest part is finding.
When I think about some of your earlier films, and I think about, for me, they were sort of my introduction to queer cinema. I mean, honestly, it kind of felt like the wild west. It seemed like people were just like trying things out. What's your perspective on queer cinema now? Um, 20,
I
30 years later, 30 years later.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of crazy in the sense that, when we made The Living End in like the early 90s, like 92, it was like it was before Ellen came out, before Will and Grace. It was just so
Mhm.
like shocking to see like two guys kiss or anything. And it's really like um incredible to me, like how much the culture shifted in my lifetime. You know what I mean? It's just like to go from that being such a, you know, controversial thing back when at Sundance when we premiered in like 92 or whatever. Yeah, 92, I think, to now where it's like, heated rivalry is like a huge mainstream thing. Like it
Yeah.
went like like wine moms all over the world are just obsessed with it and like think it's so sexy and hot. It's like to go from that to where we are now is like amazing, and feel so fortunate to have been around for all of these decades that I've been around to see the culture make progress and to see things sort of open up, and hopefully they will continue to open up despite the current administration and despite the censorship and despite the threats to free speech and everything else going on right now, because
Yeah.
I think it's so important, and it's really why younger people, you know, the younger generations they feel more comfortable with coming out, being LGBT or whatever, Q, whatever the letter they want to be. It's like they're that openness, I feel like, is really so important to have in a free democratic society, which
Yeah.
hopefully we will remain for forever.
Yeah. I mean, I want your sex to me kind of seems like, I mean, if you're going to make a mainstream kind of movie, one that's more accessible to others. I hate that word mainstream, but it's just like a movie that everybody might gravitate to who wouldn't normally gravitate to a Gregg Araki movie. I Want Your
Um,
Sex seems like it. I think before this, I think the first one I would think of was maybe Splendor was the closest to that, but
um,
which
or
I
like
love that movie too.
or
But
smiley face, it's like smiley face is smiley face has the least sex of any of my movies because it's more pot smoking. So yeah, no, I definitely. It's funny because it's like, I Want Your Sex is like the reaction to I Want Your Sex. Like we just got our Rotten Tomato scores, and it's like higher than any of my other movies. It's just like, and it does seem like it plays very well. In a like we just had a screening at the Castro, and the audience. I'm excited for people seeing it in theater because it is a comedy and it's better with an
Mhm.
audience, with a community of people. And the reaction to the movie was literally like a riot. Like people were yelling and screaming. It was like a like audience participation kind of situation. And it was so fun. I mean? Like I really wanted to make a movie right now that is like pop and fun and a good time for people. I think that it's not dumb. It's not escapist fluff, but I did want to make a movie that's fun, and it's 90 minutes long. It's like it's not it's not that people can go out with their friends, like, have a few drinks, watch the movie, have a laugh, go, and
Mhm.
afterwards go out and talk about it and go out and think about it. And like, it definitely has a lot going on in terms of its themes and its ideas. It's not empty-headed, but yeah, I just really want, people to have a good time, but also to, provoke conversation.
Well, Greg, this has been amazing for me. I apologize for the technical issues we had earlier, but I'm glad we got a chance to talk about I Want Your Sex. I'm a, like I said, big fan of the movie and big fan of yours. My friend over here, I'd be remiss if I didn't ask if you would ever revisit some of the nowhere characters again in any movie in the future.
Well, there is a question about if they've seen Now Apocalypse. Now Apocalypse is in a weird way almost a sequel to Nowhere. It's
Mhm.
definitely related. Like the alien is actually very similar. It's not this,
Yes.
but it's like a ancestor. And then Jimmy's in that movie, and people have speculation that Jimmy's actually the same. It's like there is definitely a connection in all my movies. It's like a Marvel universe.
Like it says, it's the James Duval cinematic
Yeah,
universe,
they're all kind of
you can call
connected. And
it.
I Want Your Sex. Everybody in the movie are people from my old movies. I don't want there's cameos that are sort of a surprise, but like Darcy Marta, who was in my very first movie, Three Will the People in the Night, and she's
Wow.
in as well. I hadn't seen her for like 30 years, and I saw her at a Doom Generation screening few years ago, and she flew in from San Francisco to play the art critic at the art gallery show. So there's a lot of Easter eggs for the fans in the movie for sure.
Greg, thanks a lot, man. I appreciate your time.
Thank you so much.
Right. Thank you. Thanks, everybody. Sorry for the issues earlier.
Good. Thanks.
Thanks for checking out the show. If you like what we're laying down, please subscribe to our channel and click the bell to receive notifications for all of our latest stuff.